Winners and losers halfway through the 2025 season. Spa has come and gone, and with that, we're through 13 of the 2025 season's 24 races, which made me think, who have been the biggest winners and who've been the biggest disappointments just over halfway through this season? Comment who you think have been the biggest winner or the biggest loser so far this season in the comment section, and if you would consider subscribing to the channel, it does help trigger the old algorithm a lot. Either way, here we go. First, the winners. Williams. The team Frank Bolt and Claire Broke is Formula One royalty. 9 constructors and 7 world drivers titles, 114 race wins, but times have been tough in the last decade or two as 0 wins since Maldonado's shock 2012 Spanish GP win lies testament to. In 2024, Williams managed 17 points only and 9th place in the constructors' battle, with Colapinto scoring 5 and Albon 12, and Logan Sargent was sacked for Colapinto after round 15, failing to contribute a single point. For context, if you finish second in a Formula One race, you get 18 points. In the whole 24-race season last year, Williams scored 17. Things weren't looking rosy, to say the least, but 2025 has seen the legendary team showing a marked improvement. After 13 rounds, Williams are already on 70 points, with Albon on 54 and Sainz on 16. This is already their most productive season since 2018, when they scored 83 points. And it gives long-suffering Williams fans, whose Mansell mustaches have started to bald, some relief after a punishing season or 10. It's sad that current-day fans don't know the Williams we all feared in the 1990s, from the mustached King Mansell to sulky Prost, entitled son of a champion Damon, and a little bit weird French-Canadian Jacques Villeneuve. They won many a title before the once proud marquee became the tail-end strugglers we've come to know. But things seem to be looking up. Esteban Ocon. I have to admit I've never been a great fan of the man, despite enjoying that time he ticked off Verstappen enough that the Prince of Orange pushed him around a bit after a race. He is, however, a race winner, and thus is deserving of a certain amount of respect, which I felt he was not given last season when Alpine sacked him. When he was announced at Haas, there was a feeling of pending doom over his career, as the American bunnies have recently become a bit of a graveyard for Formula One careers, being the last team for drivers like Grosjean, Mazepin, Mick Schumacher and Kevin Magnussen before they were bumped off the grid. And above and beyond that, Ocon was partnered with Ferrari golden boy Ollie Bearman. A positive surprise then, when Ocon has been performing rather strongly the first half of the season. In 2024, Haas scored 58 points. For Alpine, Ocon scored 23, and he was solidly beaten by teammate Pierre Gasly with 42. So far this season, Ocon is on 27, already more than last season, while supposed Wonder Kid teammate Bearman has 8, and former Team Alpine have 20. So Ocon himself is outscoring the team that thought he wasn't good enough to race for them. McLaren. Ah yes, the papayas. As a massive McLaren fan since the days of Prost, minus a few years when I followed Schumacher to Benetton and Ferrari. I was a kid, he's German, my ancestors are German, but why am I explaining myself? It's been flippin' awesome to see the progress made in Papaya Land. Last season McLaren had to beat Ferrari on the final day to take the Constructors' title. So far in 2025, both McLaren drivers have more points than the second place team in the title race, Ferrari. The Constructors' title already seems in the bag, and the 2 McLaren drivers seem hot favourites to battle it out for the drivers' title, the first for the team since some kid called Lewis Hamilton won it back in 2008. I wonder whatever happened to him. Sauber and Hulkenberg. For what seems like forever, Sauber have been the whooping boys in Formula One. Last season they scored a mighty 4 points. And while Nico Hülkenberg has been hugely popular, his 3 million something races without a podium was one of the sport's saddest statistics. No more though. Hulk finally broke his podium duck and Sauber are already on 43 points. It's great to see a team that's been on the grid since the early 90s have some success before they disappear into the abyss of history to emerge as Audi next season. And the biggest winner so far this season, Oscar Piastri. The Aussie has always had that aura of excellence around him. Remember when Alpine and McLaren were battling it out for a kid who very few, well, I didn't know who he was. I'm sure there are many who knew who he was. I didn't. Back in the day. Now, after only 59 races, he has 8 victories, of which 6 have come this season. For context, Leclerc has 8 wins as well, but it's taken him 160 starts. Lando Norris has 8 in 141 starts. Piastri has done it in 59. Piastri has emerged from the shadow of teammate Norris dramatically this season and has since become the world driver's title favorite. Incredible to think he's 24 years old as he leads the title race with 266 points to Lando Norris 250 after 13 rounds. Now, I don't like to use the term losers in this context. These are high-performance athletes. So let's say the biggest disappointments for this season.
I'm a high-performance athlete. Athletes sweat. Sweat, baby. Sweat, sweat.
Liam Lawson. It started so promisingly for the man. Picked to replace multiple race winner Sergio Perez as the teammate to the defending world champion. The world seemed his oyster, only for the kid to apparently be allergic to seafood, as he was unceremoniously kicked to the curb after 2 nightmarish qualifying and race performances for Red Bull. Since returning to the Red Bull B team over at Racing Bulls, or whatever they will be called next season, he has scored 16 points, while his replacement at the senior team, Yuki Tsunoda, has managed only 10. Red Bull, Yuki Tsunoda. Speaking of those two, what a nightmare are they having. 10 points for the popular Japanese driver after 11 races for the senior team has seen his Formula One dream burn to ashes. Next season, Honda, who seems to prefer Japanese driver and have been backing Tsunoda, move away from Red Bull to Aston Martin. But the team in green don't have any openings, and it seems unlikely that a very trigger-happy Red Bull will keep Tsunoda on after he has scored 10 points this season to teammate Verstappen's 185. Not exactly pushing him, is he? You never know though. Maybe he pulls out some proper ninja Japanese moves, goes all Jackie Chan or whatever and improves. Oh no, Jackie Chan isn't Japanese, he's Chinese, eh? My bad, I don't know. Japanese do karate. Do they do sumo wrestling? Whatever, maybe he pulls out some Hakuo moves. No, he's Mongolian. Whatever, maybe he pulls out some great moves over the next few races to keep Helmut Marko from kicking him out of the team. Aston Martin, they've signed Honda engines for next season. Currently, they have Mercedes power units, the power unit McLaren are using to run away with both titles. They've poached some of the best technical staff in the sport. They've signed the greatest designer in Formula One history in Adrian Newey. They have brilliant infrastructure and an owner with a fat checkbook that doesn't mind spending the cash. They have a double world champion behind the wheel of one of the cars, and yet they have 36 points in 13 races. Alonso is on 16 points, actually being outscored by Stroll, who is there because his dad owns the team, who has 20 points. So what's gone wrong? It seems Aston Martin have pretty much written off the season. With the rules changing for next year, 2025 is seen as not worth it, and the boys in green are seemingly putting everything on 26. Wonder how the current batch of sponsors feel about paying good money to finance a team that seem uninterested in the current season. Lewis Hamilton, when the 7-time World Drivers' title winner announced he was leaving for pastures red, Ferrari fans forgot it was going to be for the 2025 season and remembered the man that broke their Vettel-shaped hearts so many times in the past. They dreamt about Liauzh winning an 8th title and driving off into the sunset on some sort of electric solar-powered horse with a Ferrari badge on it, having made Ferrari great again. When those Ferrari fans woke up, it was with a bang. Lewis Hamilton of 2025 is not the same man that destroyed Seb Vettel's reputation by beating him into submission mercilessly in that unbeatable Mercedes. Age catches up with us all, and after 13 rounds of the 2025 season, Hamilton is 6th with 109 points. Having failed to score a podium so far this season, he does have a sprint win in China though. He trails teammate Charles Leclerc by 30 points and 5 podiums. The dream of leaving Mercedes and emulating Schumacher by taking Ferrari back to the top seems to be becoming more similar to when Schumacher retired from Ferrari and went to Mercedes and did nothing but disappoint his fans. Lando Norris. Yes, I believe Lando Norris may be the biggest disappointment of the first half of 2025. The Golden Boy, seen by many as the favorite to finally take the title away from Verstappen. He has stayed loyal to McLaren through the years and now it's his time. That's what we hoped and dreamed. He finally had the car and this was his year to dominate. Silly quotes by boss Zach Brown that his era of dominance was at hand have aged like milk standing in the sun. Yes, he has the car to finally do something. Unfortunately for the Brit, his teammate hasn't read the script for 2025 or simply is ignoring it. If this was Red Bull, Lando would have been favored by his team in the title race. But despite Senna and Prost and Hamilton and Alonso's best efforts to unalive each other when teammates at McLaren, it's not the papaya way to favor one teammate over the other, openly anyway. Thus Piastri has the lead and seemingly the edge over Norris after more than half the season is over and done with. Is the title race over? No chance, my friend, no chance. Lando certainly can still win the title. He's only 16 points behind Oscar. But nerves and big match temperament do, however, come into play. And while the Aussie seems to have had a blood infusion from Kimi Räikkönen, Norris has been making more and more mistakes, more than Piastri in any case. And in a sport where one mistake can make the difference between winning and not finishing a race, that can be the deciding factor. And so, we've reached the end of another video. Thank you for watching. If you wouldn't mind pressing the subscribe button, that would be nice. If you do mind, well, that's your choice. God bless and goodbye.